Hi, I'm Casey, and I have a crush on food. And today I have a crush on salty and sweet bars. This is kind of like a homemade granola bar slash energy bar, depending on what you want to use it for. I originally saw a video for energy bars, actually, and I thought to myself, those would be great for homemade granola bars. Do people even know they can make them homemade? Grocery store granola bars have a lot of ingredients, usually a lot of things you can't pronounce, and these are made from all natural ingredients, and they taste great, so I'd like to show you how to make them. Start on the stove, and I have a pan that's gently heated on a low heat, and we're going to make the base of the bars is kind of like a sticky, syrupy kind of thing to hold them together. So I'm going to put a cup of canola oil in here, and a cup of butter, and let the butter melt. The oil will get warm too, and if you want to make these more of an energy bar, you can use 1/4 cup of oil and 1/4 cup of butter. That'll give it a little bit more calories. So to this, I'm going to put 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Put that in there. And I have date syrup. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of that in here, but you can actually use probably Caro syrup or honey, anything that's really sticky. Date syrup is not something you're going to find at your supermarket. Probably you'll have to go to a specialty food market, a Middle Eastern market. But it's really tasty. You can use it for a lot of different things. So put 2 tablespoons of your favorite kind of syrup. I haven't tried maple, but that would probably be good too. And once you've got all that in there, you can see that it's making like a kind of a sticky paste. So kind of like that. Alright, so the rest is real easy. I'm going to put in 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Go ahead and turn the heat off. So we're done with all the melting. And peanut butter, 1 tablespoon. When you're buying peanut butter, it's a good idea to look for one that doesn't have added sugar. So check the label. You definitely don't need, if you taste peanut butter that has sugar and peanut butter that does not have sugar, they taste different. You definitely don't need sugar in your peanut butter. So little tip from me to you. Give that a stir. Now we're going to add the fun part. So I have a few different kinds of nuts here. I have dry roasted salted peanuts, 1/4 cup of that. I have 1/4 cup of sliced almonds, and I have 1/4 cup of cashews, just dry roasted but unsalted. But you can buy salted if you want to add an extra, a little extra salt. And I chopped up the cashews. You don't have to chop up the almonds, and the peanuts are small. So I'm going to dump those in there. And next comes the fruit. I have 1/4 cup of chopped dates and 1/4 cup of dried cherries, but you can use raisins if you want. I've made it with cranberries, which I think is really good too. Cherries are a little bit tart; they're not quite as sweet, so it's a good complement to the rest of the ingredients. Just dump those in. The dates you do have to chop because they're big, so make sure you chop those up. Alright, and the last ingredient is the oats, and you just need about 1 cup of those. So it's going to be a little bit, not really stiff, but just make sure that you coat all the oats with our, buttery, syrupy mixture. And next step is to put it in the pan. I have a square pan here, and you need a sheet of parchment paper, which makes making these like super easy. So just make it stay sort of. And our mixture's here, and I have the last step, which I like to do. It's just a handful of chocolate chips. So these are dark chocolate chips, but you could use semi-sweet, you could use milk chocolate. The thing is that the mixture, of course, is warm. So they might melt a little, but I say, what the heck, just go ahead and do it. So I'm going to toss those. You could even put the mixture in the pan and then just kind of press the chocolate chips in at the last minute too. You can do that. So you're just going to dump the mixture into the pan, and you're going to have to press down the mixture into the square. It's going to bake however it's not going to spread out when you bake it. So just go ahead and use your spoon and press it. These aren't going to be real thick bars. I have the oven preheated to 350, and they only need to bake for about 10 or 12 minutes. So once you have spread it out how you want it, and you can, get a little extra off the spoon with your finger, or you can lick the spoon. Because it's really good. Stick them in the oven, and I will show you the tastiness when they're done. Alright, the bars are done, and don't be alarmed when you open the oven to take them out. They'll be very bubbly and liquidy looking, but once you take them out and set them out, they do solidify. They're not going to stay like that. So what I usually do is I just take the parchment paper, lift it out of the pan, and set it here on this chopping block, which I think helps it cool a little faster. And all you're going to do when it's cooled, and I mean, it takes about 30 minutes, is get a knife and cut them. I usually cut it into 12, just depends. If you cut it into 12s, each little square is about 100 calories my way. If you make it with the more oil and more butter, it's going to be a little bit more. But I usually cut 12 bars out of this, and they go great in lunches or for a snack. So don't buy grocery store granola bars. Make your own instead.